So we reach Surah Al-Qasas, ayah number 41. So after we talk about the story of Musa alayhi salam, and we talk how his lifespan, how it spent from his childhood, then how Pharaoh and his wife took him and raised him, and then he reached to Madian. Then there was these two girls and he married one of them. Then he went out to Jabal al-Tur where he talked to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and he started his da'wah from there. Then we discuss at the end like how he will go to Pharaoh and he have to ask them to follow Allah and worship him alone, not as Pharaoh. And here in these ayahs, Allah is mentioning what type of torture, what type of adab Pharaoh and his people is gonna receive in the life after. So Allah here is saying, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, وَجَعَلْنَاهُمْ أَئِمَّةً يَدْعُونَ إِلَى النَّارِ وَيَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ لَا يُنصَرُونَ. Okay? So we made them a leader that they invite to fire. They are a leader that they guide their people to the hell. And at the day of judgment, they will not be the one who will get victory. وَأَتْبَعْنَاهُمْ فِي هَذِهِ الدُّنْيَا لَعْنَةً وَيَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ هُمْ مِنَ الْمَقْبُوحِينَ. So they were cursed at this dunya, and at the day of judgment, they will be the one who's ugly, or let's say it's a metaphor of the one. مقبوحين القبح in Arabic is something very ugly. Okay, so it's like a metaphor how they will look like, the one who were not worshipping Allah, who is saying that He is the God and He's the one who wants His people to be worshipped. They're gonna be very ugly at the day of judgment because of the bad deeds they did, the worst deeds that they did. وَلَقَدْ آتَيْنَا مُوسَى الْكِتَابَ مِنْ بَعْدِ مَا أَهْلَكْنَا الْقُرُونَ الْأُولَى بَصَائِرَ لِلنَّاسِ وَهُدًى وَرَحْمَةً لَعَلَّهُمْ يَتَذَكَّرُونَ. Okay, so here Allah is saying that we give Musa the book, which is Torah, after the previous people who were tortured. Okay, and Allah sent this book as a بَصَائِرَ لِلنَّاسِ. بَصَائِرَ لِلنَّاسِ is people can get insights and reflection out of this book. Basair is come from basar or basira, which is the wisdom that you get out of the world that you see, the stories that you hear in this book. So it see the benefit behind everything. Basira is like more of the deeper meaning of something. وَهُدًى وَرَحْمَةً لَعَلَّهُمْ يَتَذَكَّرُونَ. And it's gonna be huda, it's gonna be a guidance and the mercy for them, then they might shall remember. وَمَا كُنْتَ بِجَانِبِ الْغَرْبِيِّ إِذْ قَضَيْنَا إِلَى مُوسَى الْأَمْرَ وَمَا كُنْتَ مِنَ الشَّاهِدِينَ. So here Allah is talking to Muhammad, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, that you were not in the side of the west side or western side where Allah asked Musa to tell him to do da'wah, and he was not witnessing this type of event. And this is one of the miracles of Quran, that Prophet Muhammad would never know what would happen in the previous prophet or messengers unless Allah told him so in the book, on the Quran. So this is one of the ayah of the Quran. At that time they didn't have phones, they didn't have anyone, and between each prophet there was many years. So, and some of them, as you said, like they are living in different. So Musa was in Egypt, then he moved to Madian, which is near to Jordan, but Prophet Muhammad was in Mecca, so and Medina. So it was very difficult that he would know or predict what happened to Musa at that time unless Allah told him in the book. So he was not witnessing this type of event. وَلَكِنَّا أَنْشَأْنَا قُرُونًا فتطاول عليهم العمر وما كنت ثاويا في أهل مدين تتلو عليهم آياتنا وما كنا مرسلين. So Allah created generation that the time has passed, a long time has passed, and through this time people might start to lose their faith. And here where it comes the need to send a new prophet, a new messenger, to remind them to worship Allah again. Okay, and you were not in the Madian, you tell them our ayahs, but we are the one who sent, or the messenger in general. وما كنت بجانب الطور إذ نادينا. You were not near to Tur mountain when we call upon Musa, when Allah talked to Musa. But it's a mercy from your God. لتنذر قوما ما أتاهم من نذير من قبلك لعلهم يتذكرون. So you have been sent to a people that no one came to them to tell them about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, about the religion. So this is as a mercy, as a rahmah. So Allah is sending Prophet Muhammad as a rahmah for the people who didn't know, who doesn't have the knowledge, or because of the long time between two prophets, they didn't receive the message of Islam. Okay? لعلهم يتذكرون, so they may remember. ولولا أن تصيبهم مصيبة بما قدمت أيديهم فيقولوا ربنا لولا أرسلت إلينا رسولا فنتبع آياتك ونكون من المؤمنين. So here they're saying that if we had a musibah is like a problem, let's say, or something is very bad happened to them. It will happen of what their hand causes. It's because of them. And this is something now, if we reflect upon, any type of distress, any type of problem, whether it's a physical issues, a physical injury, or a pain, or a negative feeling you get, it's because of something you have done to yourself. Okay? وَمَا كَانَ اللَّهُ بِظَلَّامٍ لِلْعَبِيدِ. Allah will not do injustice to anyone. So know for sure, if you have bad situation, if something did not work, if you cut your finger, if you got hurt from anything, know that you are the cause of this one. Maybe you did something, maybe you didn't remember what you did, but you did something. This was your reward of what your hand has did. Okay? And this is the reason that will help you to get out of this problem, by admitting that you are the one who caused it to yourself. Remember the dua that we always mention, لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك إني كنت من الظالمين, is like the first thing you do when you do tawbah is you admitting that you're wrong, you admitting that you do injustice to yourself. Then do istighfar, then Allah will accept your istighfar. And this is what we discussed earlier in the ayah. If you remember, when Musa killed one of his enemy, he accidentally killed someone, and then how did he do istighfar to Allah? Let me just get to the ayah. Ayah number 16 in the same surah, Surah Al-Qasas. Allah said, قال رب إني ظلمت نفسي, which is Musa said after he killed someone. قال إني ظلمت نفسي فاغفر لي فغفر له إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. Musa said directly after he know that what he did was a mistake and it's a work of shaitan. He directly admit that I have wronged myself. I had did injustice to myself. So forgive me. Then Allah forgive him. So see the consequences, the steps that Musa took for asking or for doing tawbah or doing istighfar. The first is admitting that I caused it to myself. It's not the environment, it's not my family, it's not because of my mental illness, it's not because of the weather or something, or because of the other guy who pushed me to do it. No, he admitted that he do it because of himself. Okay, and this is the first thing that you can use if you want to get out of something. If you are in trouble, if you are in distress, if you are having obstacles in your life and you don't know how to get it out, no, admit in the beginning that I cause it to myself. Even if I don't know what I do, maybe for example, I did sense or I did other thing that caused me to this happen to my life, this distress happened to my life, or this pain, let's say, or problem happened to my life. And then do istighfar, even if you don't know it. And this is there's a beautiful dua that even Yunus alayhi salam, when he was in the stomach, inside of the whale, he didn't do exactly dua, he did dhikr. What the dhikr was, La ilaha illa anta subhanaka inni kuntu min al-zalimin. He said that, okay, Allah is the only one that deserves to be worshipped, and I was injustice to myself. That's it. He didn't do even istighfar. He just admit that he was inside of the whale, or in this distress, or in this problem, because of himself. Okay? And then he survived, and then Allah saved him. So I think this is the main thing. The main thing, if you are in trouble and you want to get out of it, the first step is to admit it. You caused it to yourself, even if you don't remember exactly what is it. Because Allah will not give you problems and distress just because of that. Allah is so fair. Will never do injustice to anyone unless he did something that he deserved this to do. Okay? So another dua I really like, and there's lots of it's so comprehensive, like it help you even if you don't know the what you did wrong, let's say, or what is your sense. There is a very beautiful dua. I'm gonna mention it in Arabic, then I'm gonna see it and translate it in English, which is اللهم اغفر لي ذنبي كله دقه وجله أوله وآخره علانيته وسره. تمام? Which means that Allah forgive my sins, all my sins, the small one and the bigger one, the smallest sins and the biggest sins, the first sins and the last sins, and forgive the sins I know about and the sins I don't know about. It's a very beautiful dua. Honestly, like if you try to say it, it's like covering all sides of dua, all sides of angle of the wherever you would do sense in somehow. So you're asking Allah to forgive all the sins that you have did. Okay? And for sure then do istighfar, always trying to remember what could something you said or something you have done that could cause this distress or this pain or this problem, and always try to remember and do istighfar for it. Okay. So again, then they will say, if God send us a messenger, that we would follow your ayahs and we will be a believer. Okay? So it's like saying, okay, we need a messenger. We want a messenger. Then we can follow your ayahs and be from al-mu'minin. And Allah already sent them a messengers. But because they don't want to believe, so they keep asking for ayahs. They keep asking for others because they won't believe already. Whatever you give them, they are just mocking. They're just not a believer. فلما جاءهم الحق من عندنا قالوا لولا أوتي مثل ما أوتي موسى أولم يكفروا بما أوتي موسى من قبل قالوا سحران تظاهرا وقالوا إنا بكل كافرون. So, but when Prophet Muhammad ﷺ bring them the message, which is the haqq, the Quran, the ayah came to them, they say, why is he not given like what has been given to Musa? They want the ayahs that Allah gave to Musa, like the stick that turned into a snake, the frogs, the blood, the water that turns into blood, in these type of ayahs, because they still don't believe. They want other ayahs, which was given to Musa and all. But they said too kind. They won't believe in this one. They were trying just to say anything. Okay, try to give us this thing. Try to give it this thing. You know that they are not gonna believe in it. They just say, okay, they are two wizards or two magicians, you know, and they are just pretending. And then eventually they say we're all on these were disbelievers. Okay, so they were called, Musa and his brother Harun, they were called that they are magicians. For the one who didn't believe of their ayahs, they said, okay, this is magic. And even in the Qawm of Fir'aun, they were so famous in magic. So when they bring them the ayah, okay, they said, okay, so this is also a magic, so you are a magician. They won't believe in this ayah that comes from Allah. قل فأتوا بكتاب من عند الله هو أهدى منهما أتبعه إن كنتم صادقين. So again, here that Muhammad told them, okay, try to bring a book from Allah. If you don't believe in all of these ayah, try to bring a book from Allah that's better for you than this book, the Quran and the Torah. Okay? And if you are truthful, then I'm gonna follow you. So try to prove me. So here, Muhammad ﷺ is trying to speak to them in a more logical way, trying to understand their mindset. Like, okay, you want more proof, you want more evidence. Okay, then if you don't believe the evidence I'm bringing you, try to bring it yourself. Try to ask for proofs and bring it to me. And if I believe you, then I'm gonna follow you. But if not, and they won't be able to do it, then they will know that they were wrong. فإن لم يستجيبوا لك فاعلم أنما يتبعون أهواءهم ومن أضل ممن اتبع هواه بغير هدى من الله إن الله لا يهدي القوم الظالمين. Okay, so if they didn't answer to you and they didn't do what you told them to bring a book, and they couldn't, they will know that they only following their hawa. Hawa is like whatever your mind tell you, you will go and follow it. It doesn't have a strong foundation. It's similar to lust. It's similar to shahwa, you know, when you follow something just because you want to. It doesn't have any reason, it doesn't have a value, it doesn't have any meaning, but just you do this. And here Allah is saying, and who is worse or who is misled than the one who would follow his own lust without his guidance from Allah. And Allah doesn't guide the one who do injustice. And this injustice, they're doing injustice to themselves. So when you follow, let's say, okay, I want to eat this food, or I want to go and drink, let's say, I want to go and party in clubs, I want to have cigarette, I want to do stuff that could bring me sense. When you ask him, why are you going to do it? Just because I want to. Just because of I'm following my lust. So they are the people who will get lost and they will cause dalal. Dalal is like similar to someone lost, you know. When you are in very bad situation, in very low situation, you are so lost because you always follow your hawa, your lust. You don't have a strong foundation, which should be Allah, the order of Allah, the guidance from Allah. So you will always be like, one day you're here, one day you're here, one day you're doing the sense, one day you will just lose your life. Unless you have a strong foundation and you follow the order of Allah that Allah gives you, that whenever happen to you, you always ask yourself, does this satisfy Allah? Does this right thing to do, that Allah will feel good when I do it? Is it aligned with my religion? Is it different with whatever orders Allah give us in the book? So here is the strong foundation that we always need to have, so we won't get lost and we just follow our lusts. ولقد وَلَقَدْ وَصَّلْنَا لَهُمُ الْقَوْلَ لَعَلَّهُمْ يَتَذَكَّرُونَ. And we have delivered them the saying, these type of news, maybe they will remember. Okay. الذين آتيناهم الكتاب من قبله هم به يؤمنون. Okay. The people who gave this Torah before, who did believe in it, they believe also in Quran. Okay. Because all the books that Allah sent with his prophet is aligned to each other, is following each other. So, and this is one part of us as a Muslim, we need to believe. One part of Arkan al-Iman, is the main rukun of Iman, is to believe in all the heavenly books. Believe in Torah, believe in Bibles, believe in Quran, and everything. Okay. Maybe there is some changes in Injil and Bible now. There are other people, they change stuff, but we believe that Allah sent these, the original one, Allah sent these to the Prophet, and we need to believe in them all. Because they're part of it, they're all coming from Allah. And only the Quran is the one that has not been changed. Only the one that Quran, Allah has preserved it, because it's the last book. No one can change in it. Okay? But at the same time, we need to believe in all prophets and all the books that has been sent with them. وَإِذَا يُتْلَى عَلَيْهِ آيَاتُنَا قَالُوا آمَنَّا وَإِذَا يُتْلَى عَلَيْهِمْ قَالُوا آمَنَّا بِهِ إِنَّهُ الْحَقُّ مِنْ رَبِّنَا إِنَّا كُنَّا مِنْ قَبْلِهِ مُسْلِمِينَ. So now as a Muslim, if I heard or if I read the Bible, for example, or Torah, and I know that this is the original, it's not changed or someone changed, because there is many, if you look into it, Bible, there is different, let's say, writing. Even if you ask Christians, like they have like, do you want this writing, the one who changed it? So there is many versions of Bible they have in Christianity. Anyway, when you read it, the original one, the one Allah has sent to them, we will believe in it. When we read it, we know about it, we will know that it's similar to what is in Quran. So then we will believe in it. And it's the haqq min Rabbina. It's the right one from Allah. And before of that, we were all Muslims. And by the way, this is something I would like to mention very briefly. What does Muslims mean? There is a deeper meaning of Islam. Islam, it comes from peace, right? Salam, in general. So what does salam mean? Salam means, or Muslim means, the one who does not hurt another person, who is peaceful with another person, okay? Then we have parts, or we have, let's say, we call it in Arabic millah. So Allah said there is millata Ibrahim, is like the approach that Ibrahim has did. Then the approach millata the other prophets. But in general, they were all already Muslimin. They were all Muslims. Because Muslim is a description, is a character. It's the one who does not cause harm to another person, who is peaceful to another person. Okay? So, every prophet was Muslim. Okay? Just to keep this in mind. Everyone was Muslim. Muslim is a characteristic. Okay? But the religion, the deen, the tawheed, the iman billah, believing in Allah, this is the other thing, the believer, or the approach that every prophet has taken. And there's many ayahs, if you want to go deeper in it, Millat Ibrahim, and why Ibrahim was the father of the Anbiya. Why Ibrahim was the father of all prophets. What type of approach he started. There is many other deeper topic about it, but I just wanted to mention this because it's like sometimes it helps us to understand more about our religions and about the names that we have. Okay, أولئك يؤتون أجرهم مرتين بما صبروا ويدرؤون بالحسنة السيئة ومما رزقناهم ينفقون. And here is the beautiful thing. Okay, focus on this ayah. It's so beautiful. Okay, Allah is mentioning who are these Muslims. Okay, who are these believers who said we believed in Allah and He's the right and this is the book is from Allah and so on. And they are the one who will be rewarded twice. يؤتون أجرهم مرتين. They gonna take the reward twice. Okay, Allah, so what are the things I need to do if I wanna be rewarded twice? Let's see. Allah said they have patience. Number 1. ويدرؤون بالحسنة السيئة is if someone did bad for them or did sins or evil to them, they will back it to them with good deeds. Like if someone did something bad to you or someone swear at you or hurt you, you will, instead of hurt them back, you will do something good, or you will forgive them, or you will just say a good word to them. Okay, so this is the second characteristic. If you want to be rewarded twice in anything, okay, and I believe this is in hasanat, in your good deeds, in the rewards, in Jannah, in the day of Al-Akhirah, in Al-Hisab, in anything, you will be rewarded twice if you do the following thing. To be patient, to have sabr. 2, whenever someone did bad stuff for you or evil stuff, you will face it with good stuff. You will not do or hurt them back. And of whatever we give them, whatever rizq we give them, they spend from them. Okay? وَمِمَّا رَزَقْنَاهُمْ يُنْفِقُونَ. And here is a very important point to focus on, is that you can spend from anything. It doesn't need to be money. Okay? A rizq have different meaning. A rizq could be a good friends. A rizq could be an education, a knowledge, an information you get, Allah give you. Rizq could be maybe a good mental health or a good health, a good physical health. Rizq could be anything. So the type of rizq, let's try not to put it only on money. There is different type of infaq or charity you can do that Allah mentioned regarding money. But here Allah is more general one. Like what type of rizq do you have? And then ask yourself, how can I spend from this rizq? How can I do sadaqah, zakah from this rizq? How can I give from this rizq that Allah give me? And so very simple than what we thought. Like for example, okay, I have this knowledge, and this is one type of rizq Allah give it to me. Okay, how can I do charity with it? I teach other people. I help other people to know this knowledge. Maybe you can do a reel or write something, or maybe information that Allah give you that benefit you. Okay, share this information with others. It's considered a sadaqah, a charity, a zakah, tazkiyatul ilm. You're purifying the rizq, the ilm, the education that Allah give you. Okay, and this is the main thing you need to do if you want to get more blessing. The more you spend, the more you create an empty place for you to receive blessings. You can't receive blessings if you fall just collecting. I want more rizq, I want more money, more things, more profits, more blessing. But you never spend from them. Then you don't allow a space for it to enter. You need to empty some space for you to be able to receive another good stuff to your life. And it's like a universal law. It happens in everything. And start noticing it in your life. Like if you want something to come more to your life, if you want something to have it more in your life, try to spend from it first. And I mentioned this, and I remember in the other videos, لن تنالوا البر حتى تنفقوا مما تحبون, which means even if you want to receive something, you need to spend from it first. Like even with emotions, you want to feel more loved, you want to feel love in general, try to spend love more first, then you will receive love automatically from outside. You want to feel respected more, try to give this respect to other people, whatever whose they are, then you will receive it. It's like an equation, it's a law in the universe. And try it and see. Okay, then what else? So we said they're patient, they if there's something evil, they receive it reciprocated with good stuff, and they spend charity of whatever Allah that give them. And وَإِذَا سَمِعُوا اللَّغْوَ أَعْرَضُوا عَنْهُ وَقَالُوا لَنَا أَعْمَالُنَا وَلَكُمْ أَعْمَالُكُمْ سَلَامٌ عَلَيْكُمْ لَا نَبْتَغِي الْجَاهِلِينَ. And if they hear لغو means any type of bad words. It could be gossips, it could be evil talk, it could be like someone is mocking from something, anything that you can say it, but you will gain sense out of it. If they hear it out, if they were in a setting and they hear someone saying this, أعرضوا عنه, they withdraw themselves from it, or they look the other side, they didn't go with them with the same talk. Okay? And then what did they say? They will say, you have your good deeds, you have your deeds, we have our deeds, and you have your own deeds. Peace be upon you. Salamun alaykum. We seek no ignorant. Okay? And this is how beautiful. There's also another ayah, Allah describing Muslimin, is that الذين يمشون على الأرض هونا وإذا خاطبهم الجاهلون قالوا سلاما. So Allah described them as the one who walk on the land or the ground easily or slowly, هونا, and if the ignorance talk to them, they would say peace on you. It's like they're not gonna fight with them, they're not gonna argue with them, they're not gonna convince them, oh no, we are the right one, you are the wrong one. No, it's just, okay, you have your thought, I have my thoughts, you have your deeds, I have my deeds, you have your religion, I have my religion. We will not go deep in talk with the ignorance who don't have the enough knowledge. And this is maybe a sign of that. Okay, I feel like we can talk and we can advise and have a fruitful discussion with the people that we feel that they are more educated, that they have a good argument, let's say. But if you see someone that he is not worshipping Allah and he doesn't have any type of education regarding religion or anything, so you feel like, what is the point to have a discussion with you? Okay? And sometimes, unfortunately, sometimes we're so eager to convince other people with our opinion. Sometimes we feel, oh no, we start fights just to be, no, you need to see I'm the right one, you are wrong. And it's like, it's okay to agree to disagree. It's okay to have your own opinion and I have my own opinion. And this is what Allah mentioned in Surah, I'm not sure it's the name of Surah Al-Munafiqeen, or no, like the Surah that Allah said, and eventually like, لا أعبد ما تعبدون ولا أنتم عابدون ما أعبد. And then Allah eventually told Muhammad, okay, then you can tell them, لكم دينكم ولي دين. If they didn't convince to go to Islam, then just tell them, you have your own religion and I have my own religion, and that's it. Very peacefully, very it help you to know even the skills of a conversation. Now when we reflected onto us, like whenever you speak to your friend or someone and you feel like you have a different opinion than what they have, you don't need to convince them about anything. And it's okay to have different opinion and still be peaceful. Allah saying that they will say salamun alaykum, like they will leave them with peace. They will not feel like disgusted, or they will feel that they're angry, or they will feel some. No, they will just say peace upon you, like peace to be in you. Like we're not doing anything. We don't need to convince you anything. We will live in peace. This is the characteristic of Muslims who will get paid, rewarded twice. So let's do a recap. If you want to be rewarded from Allah twice, how or what should I do? Be patient. Whenever someone do bad stuff for you, don't reciprocate it. Do a good stuff. Okay? And whatever Allah give you from rizq, do charity or give from that. Do sadaqah out of it. And if you hear someone saying bad stuff, gossips, ghiba, namima, mocking someone, any type of things, or doing lies and so on, if you hear it, just avoid it and say, it's your business, this is your deed, and I have my deed, and peace upon you. We don't speak with ignorance. Okay? طيب إنك لا تهدي من أحببت ولكن الله يهدي من يشاء وهو أعلم بالمهتدين. So this is a very beautiful ayah. Allah is saying that you will not guide the people who you love, but Allah will guide it whoever He wants. And He knows who are the one, or who are the one, the guided, who's already have been guided or guided. So, and this is something when we reflect upon, why did Allah focus or mention the one you love? You cannot guide, or you cannot, it's like you cannot help who you love. But Allah, if Allah wants, He will give him guidance. And you know this is why, because whenever we love someone, whenever we really like someone, especially if it's family, okay, sometimes we feel, oh no, I need you because I love you. I want you to go to this right way. I want you to see this guidance. I want you to reach this huda from Allah. And here is where is mostly you will get tortured, because it's not in your hand. Guidance comes from Allah only, from the will of Allah. Allah chooses who will be guided. You can only give advices. You can only tell people something, but you can't force someone to follow whatever he's not convinced of, or if Allah didn't want him to be guided. And this is a very big thing. Like, I'm gonna give you an example, because this happened a lot in our life. So one of the example, for example, there is a mother and her son doesn't pray, for example, and she wants him to pray because she loves him, and she wants him to go to Jannah, and she wants him to have a good deeds and not get tortured, not go to hell, and so on. So she will be in constant torture, because she won't be able to feel like, I couldn't make my son into guidance. I couldn't get my son into something. And it's not in your hand. It's in Allah's hand. You only need to give them advice. The result is not your responsibility. You only required to do sa'i, to do the effort. But the result is not your responsibility. وَأَنْ لَيْسَ لِلْإِنسَانِ إِلَّا مَا سَعَى. And it's only insan will get is sa'i, the sa'i that we're doing. And this is what we have hisab on. Allah will give us hisab in the day of judgment on the effort that we make, not the result that we made. The more we get attached to the result, the more we get tortured, the more we get pain, because the result is not in our hand. It's in ghaib, in the unknown, in Allah's hand. It's not our responsibility. It's not under our control. And you can see this law in different type of lives. Like in any situation, in someone's goal or career or his loved ones or his husband or wife or so on. They want them to change because they love them, but I love them. I want the best for them. But it's not your responsibility. You can only do what Allah asks you to do, to give advices, to help them, to do da'wah, to do this. But you can't force someone to do something. It's Allah's hand. Okay, then وقالوا إن نتبع الهدى معك نتخطف من أرضنا أولم نمكن لهم حرما آمنا يجبى إليه ثمرات كل شيء رزقا من لدنا ولكن أكثرهم لا يعلمون. So the disbeliever now, they say, okay, if we follow your guidance to the Prophet with you, we would be similar to be like snatched away from our land. Okay? And I like this metaphor. Why? Because it's have a very beautiful indication. I'm gonna share it with you. So you remember when there's many ayahs like we're mentioning that why the disbeliever, they don't believe in Allah when they have the enough proofs. Because they always say like, this is what we get used to it from our parents, from our family, from our tribe, and so on. هذا ما كان يعبد آباؤنا. This is what our fathers were worshipping. This is what we our whole life we used to it. So that change is not always easy. Like changing your mindset, changing your belief, changing something. It's in the beginning, it's difficult. You need to have enough courage to go and change something that you believed for a long time. It's similar to the thing that we do in the coaching sessions. In the life coaching session, like we have lots of limiting belief and lots of beliefs that all your life you believe this is the right thing. And then in this session you realize, oh, it's not the right thing. It's not a fact. Then you start to question, and it's not easy to change it, but there's a process for you to change it. It's like it has a main corner. Imagine like it's an old man sitting there for a long time, and now after 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, whatever time you start your awareness level, you say, okay, now I'm gonna change it. It's not an easy. They're gonna fight you back. These beliefs is gonna fight you very hard until you know how to deal with them and change them, especially if they're limiting, if they don't do you good. So you need to follow certain steps to change them. It's changeable, but it will take time. Okay, so here is similar metaphor. Like they say, okay, if we change our belief and we follow you, we will feel like someone snatched us, took us, kidnapped us from our land. It's similar to this, like we're gonna change the environment. We cannot change. It's like something unusual for us. It's so difficult to be snatched out of what we get used to it. Okay? أَوَلَمْ نُمَكِّنْ لَهُمْ حَرَمًا آمِنًا. So then Allah is telling them, didn't we establish for you a secure place as Mecca, a safe place as Mecca, which we brought to you all kind of fruits and rizq and provision that we give it to you. So it's like Allah telling them, Allah the one who gave you everything before, and He's the one's gonna give you everything after. So don't be afraid of the change, because the change, everything is under the control of Allah. Allah who's the one who gave you this land that you feel you will be snatched out of it. Allah who gave you this sensation of feeling safety. Allah who gave you all this kind of blessing that give it to you. And He is the one who can take it out of you. So it's like a proof or to feel more safe with the change is don't be afraid of the change if you are changing with the guidance of the one who controls the whole universe. Just trust Allah. Allah will figure everything out. If you are with Him, if you trust Him, then don't be afraid of the change. Because Allah is the one above of all of this. And He's the one gonna give you safety and assure you. Okay, then وكم أهلكنا من قرية بطرت معيشتها فتلك مساكنهم لم تسكن من بعدهم إلا قليلا وكنا نحن الوارثين. So Allah here is saying that how many villages we destroy because they didn't believe. Okay? فتلك مساكنهم, and here you can see their places that they used to live. No one lived there after them unless it's a little people. And we are the one who inherited this earth. So it's like Allah saying that Allah is the one who gave you this land. And Allah the one who can take this land or destroy this land. Okay? And He is the one who's gonna own. He's owning this land. He is the one who's gonna inherit. Allah is the one who's gonna last. You won't last till the end of the days. So it's all under the control of Allah. وما كان ربك مهلك القرى حتى يبعث فيها أمها رسولا يتلو عليهم آياتنا وما كنا مهلك القرى إلا وأهلها ظالمون. So Allah here is mentioning how merciful Allah is telling that Allah will never destroy a land or a village or a people until He send a messenger. And here He said في أمها رسولا. He sent in the not to anyone, in the mother of the town, let's say maybe the leaders of the town. He will send a messenger. So this message, He will make sure that it's gonna be for everyone's gonna heard it. Like imagine if He sent it to someone who's not a big status in this land, and maybe he forget to deliver this message of Allah and so on. Then eventually, so to Allah make sure that all the land of this, or the people who live in this land know the message, He will send it with the main leader in this village, let's say, which he is gonna say our ayahs. He's gonna يتلو عليهم آياتنا, and we will never destroy a land until her people are injustice or are long, ظالمون, who are doing injustice to themselves. And this is the mercy of Allah. Allah will not directly destroy a people who doing or not worshipping. Allah in the beginning will send messengers, with His messages, like a warning. Allah will send warning, will give you a chance to repent, will give you a chance to go back and think and go worshiping Allah. If you still insist, then here is where is the time Allah will destroy, or the adab, the torture will gonna come. And it's similar to the way that Allah treats us with. So if you are doing something bad, if you're doing sins, Allah will keep sending you messages to repent from this sins. Maybe you will hear an ayah, or you will have someone give you an advice to stop doing it, or you will get a sensation or anything. Allah will give different messages. As we said, like Allah will send wahi. Allah is communicating with us in a different way and talking to us in different ways. So if you keep ignoring the messages that Allah is trying to tell you, then you would deserve the bad torture that He will give. So for example, maybe someone will get into a car accident or something. Maybe this person were like stealing from the company that he's in, for example. and he keeps stealing. Then Allah tried to send him ayahs. Allah tried to send him a person, his colleague, trying to tell him, stop, don't do this, be afraid of Allah. For example, I'm building a scenario here. And then he said, no, I will keep doing stealing, and he ignored all the messages. Then, for example, something happened to him, his kid gets sick. This is part of the messages that Allah sent. It's like, be warned, don't do things, there is something bad's gonna happen to you if you didn't do tawbah. Then his family start to break down, then his life start to feel bad. Then the main torture might be, for example, he will be on a car accident and he will be disabled, and he will have a miserable life later on. Like, this is the consequences that Allah given you, is that will send you warning. But if you kept ignoring this warning, then you will deserve the final torture, or the pain, the major incidents that's happened to your life, which will cause you the major pain. Okay, so we're gonna stop here, and inshallah next week we're gonna continue in the rest of the Surah Al-Qasas.